Welcome to the third and a very important episode of Black and White. Today, after learning the first two episodes, I've tried to build the podcast in a way that is structural. So, structured in terms of helping you grow holistically, right? So, after learning the first 6 areas of life and understanding personal responsibility, I think it's important to understand yourself. So today we'll be discussing self-discovery. Self-discovery. One of the biggest mistakes we make is trying to build a future or a great life without understanding the person building that life. It's very important to understand who you are. Understand, we have what they call personality traits. We have what they call strengths and weaknesses. We have different people, I'm very different from my biological brothers. They are also very different from me. And we all grew up together, right? It's important to understand who you are and how that can help you in shaping your life, right? The first benefit of this for me was in understanding what I can do and what I cannot do, my strengths and weaknesses, in helping me in delegating businesses. That's where I found that it's important to understand that, okay, this area of business, I can't do it well. So why not delegate it? This area of work, I can't do it well. So why not delegate it? This is my strength. Put more strength and energy towards what you can do. So we want clarity about life. We want clarity about success. So it's important to take some time out to understand clarity about ourselves. One part of getting clarity and understanding about ourselves is that we understand what success means to us. We'll be discussing success later on in this season, but getting clarity about yourself makes you understand what you need to know about success, what you need to know about purpose, right? Self-discovery is not a motivational word, it's a responsibility. It's a call to action for you to take time out to understand why you do what you do. Self-discovery is the intentional process of understanding how you feel, how you act, and why you do what you want to do or why you do what you do. Some people for no reason enjoy singing and enjoy dancing. It plays to their strength. So self-discovery is helping you play to your strength, and it's something the Western world has really helped their children to quickly do, where they help them discover what they can do, and they spend more time doing that which they can do and delegate most of the rest. Why do I react this way? Why does this kind of thing drain me? Both of us can experience the same thing, or somebody can say something and we react in different ways. That's because we have different personalities, we have different understandings, and certain things mean more to me than to you. So for self-discovery, it helps you understand what triggers you. It helps you understand what you can take and what you cannot take. It helps you understand how to relate with people. One important truth is that you can't discover yourself by hiding from yourself. You can't discover who you are by hiding from who you are. Because when I say self-discovery now, some people might mistake it to be taking time away from people or taking time away from your activities. The journey to personal development has very little to do with taking time away from people. You can have concentrated times of personal retreat, but you learn more about yourself when you interact with people, when you are relational. You can't know if you are a hungry person when there's nobody to annoy you. You can't know if you are an introvert or an extrovert when you're always inside or when you're always outside. You can't know these things when you don't engage them, right? You can't know this social energy if you don't engage in social activities, right? So it's not overthinking. It's not overthinking that who am I? Let me go to the mountain to go and discover what. No. It's about understanding that I need to have a better understanding of who I am for me to serve better, for me to work more effectively, for me to grow more structurally, right? For example, some people can spend a lot of hours learning. Some prefer to break those learning hours. It's good to understand yourself. Why most people never understand themselves for three reasons. Number one is they lack honesty. So many times for me, these truths and principles I've learned is not about other people. When I talk about honesty, like integrity in the last episode, it has been sidelined to integrity in the midst of people. No, you should be honest to yourself. You should be honest to yourself. You should tell yourself the truth. My dad would say that the worst kind of thing to do is to deceive yourself. That's the worst kind of deceit. Telling yourself a lie, right? People that don't, irresponsibility, if you are wrong somewhere, admit you are wrong and give yourself time to grow. It's easier to blame our parents. It's easier to blame our background. It's easier to blame the government. It's easier to blame our friends, the society. It's easier to blame the times and season we are. That, okay, it's not about me. It's about, see Nigeria now, see Africa. There is economic downfall everywhere. So it's okay. Or everybody is failing, so it's okay to fail. Or nobody has money, so it's okay to... It's easier to blame those things than to take time to understand yourself and try to understand why you are not willing to change. At Black and White, I'm very intentional about making sure that you can disseminate these truths and you can understand indices to help you grow these truths. I'm very intentional about things like that. I'm very for the personal responsibility, I gave 5 truths. So if you understand these areas, you can know if you are improving in personal responsibility or not. So for understanding yourself, there are also areas you can check. So I won't be giving vague. I won't be giving vague terms or self-discovery. There are areas you can understand about self-discovery. The first area will be your values. What are your values? What really matters to you? Some people value family over work. That's not to say which is more important, but it's important for you to understand which is most important to you. Some people value their relationship with God over every other thing. Some people value their relationship with their friends over every other thing. It's important for you to understand your value. It's important for you to understand what is good to you, what you can take. That creates your circle of close friends. Understanding your value. That creates the places you should be. You should not be seen everywhere. That's lack of value. You should not be seen everywhere. You can't be seen everywhere. You can't be seen, for example, for context, you can't be seen in a club and seen in a church leading. They don't tarry. I mean, they don't tally. They are not constructive, right? You need to understand your value. Your value talks about your decisions, your relationship, your boundaries, your peace. Some people prefer wealth over peace. Some people prefer riches, not wealth, because wealth involves peace. Some people prefer riches over peace. Some people prefer peace over riches. I prefer both. I prefer wealth that comes with peace. It's important to know that I can't just take anything from anybody. Now, this is not to say I'm a no-nonsense person, no. But if you respect yourself so much and you understand yourself and your mindset really understands yourself, you'll find out that what you understand about yourself is what comes to you. The second area for understanding yourself is understanding your strengths. What am I best at doing? What do I do best? And this comes from a lot of activity, doing a lot of things. Get your hands dirty, get your hands busy, do a lot of things and understand where you are strong at, understand where you can be better at. Talks about how fast you learn. Some people, for example, learn faster by reading. I have a friend in architecture school, right, that learns faster by reading. He doesn't watch video until he has read. And I have other people like me that will watch video. We need to see it to learn. If I see you do something once, twice, I can almost replicate it. Understanding your strengths. Strengths are they are cues to what you should focus on, not accidents. Ignoring your strength doesn't make you humble. Ignoring what you are doing, what you are very strong at, doesn't make you a humble person that, oh, I can do this and I'm not doing it. That's not a sign of humility. It's not. It makes you inefficient. And one thing black and white will help you do is to be very, very efficient in your life's journey. The second is the opposite of the third, is the opposite of the second. Understand your weakness. It's important to understand your weakness. It's called self-discovery, not self-hate. Understand where you are weak at. Understand where you are weak at. For example, I'm very weak at cooking. I do not like anything that has to do with that. So for me, growing up with my siblings, I understood that I didn't like the kitchen as much as possible. So I focused more on doing house chores while they did the cooking. So it doesn't mean that in the house is when I came out of my house that it looks like a taboo, like you can't cook really. But at home, it was a very efficient system. I do most of the house chores. So I have 3 siblings. They do more of the cooking. So I don't have to, even till date, I don't have to cook when I'm at home because the house chores are my responsibilities. So understanding yourself helps you understand that let me play towards my strengths while I delegate my weaknesses. That's what it does. Understanding your weaknesses. The fourth one is understanding your emotional triggers. Discipline over emotion, but it's good to understand your emotional triggers so you can run away from it or so you can run towards it if it's good. There are certain statements that offend people more. Like guys are more interested in respect, right? They are more interested in respect and honor. So there are certain statements that you would say to me that I would take offense to. And you say to another person and he has grown past that level and he will not take offense to. But because I know that this kind of statements offend me, I know how to quickly respond to my emotional triggers and run away from that. Do you understand? For example, where we work at at the factory, for example, when people come, they easily mistake who is the head there. And sometimes I've come to discover that kind of thing, it can hurt me because I've put in so much work into this space, and then you come to the factory and you don't recognize that I'm the head. But I've come to realize that for that, I've come to realize I'm learning how to deal with that, because getting the work done is more important than how I feel while getting the work done. So understanding your emotional triggers, what makes you angry, what makes you sad, what makes you very excited. You know, one thing you learn about discipline in black and white is that we don't take defining actions when we are very excited or very sad. We don't take actions. We take actions based on our discipline and our goals. We don't take action because I'm very happy. Oh, I'll give you heaven and earth. We don't do that here. So understanding that. Number 5 will be understanding your patterns. The first is understanding your values. The second is understanding your strength. The third is understanding your weaknesses. The fourth is understanding your emotional triggers. And the fifth is understanding your patterns. Understanding your patterns. Look at your life quietly. What do I tend to do more often? That gives you an idea into who you are. Who you are is not necessarily what you want. But if you understand who you are, you can design who you want to be. Do you get? For example, I've had to delete a lot of social media on my phone because I realized that I enjoy spending so much time there, and it's not efficient for my work. It's not efficient for who I want to be. I realized that I spend a lot of time talking to people. And most of those conversations are not productive. In as much as they can be impactful, they're not productive. So I've learned to limit that. For me to be more efficient in my work, I understand that somebody might need my attention for 3 minutes and I'm giving them 30 minutes. I need to reduce it to at most 5 minutes. That means I'm still spending more time with them, but not as much as I would have. Understanding your patterns, understanding how long it takes for you to get ready. So when you are going out, when you need to be punctual, if you understand that it takes me 30 minutes to get ready, I prepare before then. Understanding understanding how you relate with people, it helps you understand your pattern. Do you have a friend for 6 months and then they go, the first friend, the second friend? That's understanding your patterns. Understanding how you relate with people. You might relate with people in a way that is very temporal. You look over the past 5 years of your life and there is no tangible relationship you have made. If you don't understand yourself, you can't design for a more sustainable future. The best way I've found to discover yourself is by doing a lot of meditations and taking an inventory about your day. Understand how did today go? Did I do what I wanted to do? Why didn't I do what I wanted to do? What did I spend time doing that I could reduce and increase in terms of my efficiency? So understanding yourself takes a lot of personal reflection. Take time out to, why did I fail this exam? Was it really as hard? Was it really could I have done better? Why did I not pass? Why did I not pass as much as I would have liked to pass? Ask yourself questions. Ask people questions. People that, for me, there are 4 important people I ask questions. My spiritual leader, my parent, my partner, and myself. You can't keep asking everybody questions because everybody has an opinion about you and some of them really don't matter. So ask yourself questions. Ask people that matter to you questions. How you can, who am I? For example, my brothers told me earlier this year that I need to understand how to prioritize playfulness. Like, I'm either all in or all out, and then I can create more balance. That comes from self-discovery. Understanding that, okay, I don't have to be fully in or fully out, but I can create time occasionally for my family instead of just except it's Christmas or something like that. Reflect and don't judge. When you realize that this is what the kind of person you are, we're not criticizing you. We're just telling you a better path to walk in. Reflect on it. Don't judge yourself that. Don't bite yourself or beat yourself over and over again that, I failed at this, I failed at that. Sometimes the reason we quote and unquote failed is because we overestimated what we could have done. For example, you thinking that you can read 50 books in a year when you have other commitments is overestimating what you can do with the limited time you have. Time is limited, right? The 4th is seeking feedback. That, like I said earlier, I seek feedback from friends and family that are close to me and important. The 5th would be paying attention to your energy. Paying attention to your energy. You can discover yourself by paying attention to your energy. Is there a way that certain tasks just make you feel low and not wanting to do them? Pay attention to that energy. There is a connection between self-discovery and purpose. When you understand yourself, you are closer to understanding your purpose. You are closer to understanding your environment around you. Self-discovery is not one topic that you should just brush over. It's something you should listen over and over and over again, because purpose is revealed when you understand your values, like I've said, when you understand your strengths, your experiences. Why did I react this way? Should I have reacted that way? Right? Your convictions, they begin to, when these things begin to align, you find out that you are beginning to work more constructively towards purpose. If you don't define yourself, life and people will define you. If you don't work towards understanding yourself, you keep following direction meant for others. If you don't decide where you are going to, you either follow somebody to where they are going to, or you follow yourself. Or they create somewhere for you to go to. If you don't decide, this is what I want out of life, people will decide for you. So for our weekly challenge this week, I encourage you to, for the rest of this week, take time out to write one strength you ignore. ask yourself what you can do better. Ask yourself why you are doing certain things. Try to understand your actions, your decisions, how you react to punctuality, how you react to discipline. Try to understand these things and understand what adjustments can I make because of this awareness. If I get to somewhere later than I would like to be, what adjustments? Do I need to prepare earlier? Do I need to how can I do better? At Black and White, we are focused on one action you can do. So don't try to do 2 or 3 things. Focus on one thing you can do. One. Once you do that, like habit stacking, which we would learn later, you figure out you can add more eventually. Thank you for listening to this episode. I hope it has been most impactful for you. And this is Black and White, where we are teaching you to grow one truth at a time. I hope to see you on the next one.